Hi, so now we're going to connect using a password to the server. If we're going to edit it again, okay, this is the password authentication. I turn it into yes, and let's turn the public key authentication to no, and this one to yes. And after you make changes to this file, make sure you restart the SSH daemon, and this is again our client, and IP address of the server is 192.168.0.50. Okay, let's just change the font. Okay, so from here, from the client or from the VirtualBox, it will connect to the SSH server, and then the SSH server will ask for a password. So let's put here password. Okay, now let's look at the difference. So to connect to that, let's type SSH 192.168.0.50. Okay, you see it's port 22. The connection refused. Why? Because we changed the port to 50,000, remember? So if you want to use another port, let's use a switch that is -P, and then put the port here number, and then we enter. So we SSH to the IP address with the port 50,000. Now this part here on the server is a user of the server, so we're going to log into that, and I just put my password, and now I'm logged in to my server. Okay, and if you ls, you can see all the files that I have here, and you can already manipulate the files. Now let's try if we that's what we use a password for. Okay, what if we're going to use a key-based password? No, I mean key-based authentication. Now what does this mean? Okay, well it simply means that from our client we're gonna produce a key here. Okay, something like a key, and this key, okay, it will unlock our access to the server. So all of your clients should you should make a key, and after you make a key on your client, you will then install this key to the server. So you have a key for a one machine, you have another key for another machine, and so on and so on. So that's the principle behind it. Now how do you turn it on? Well, first you go to again to your configuration file. Now let's turn off the password, and I think it's here. Where's that? Here. So let's turn it off, and then let's use a key authentication. Now this is going to install a key on the clients, and then we will put them on the server. Now and then we will restart again the server daemon on the server, and here if we actually exited out first of the server, and then let's try again. Let's try if this will still work. See, now I'm permission denied because I need a public key. If we don't have any key on any client that is installed on the server, you will never get access to that server. So it's important for you to have keys on the clients which is going to connect to the server. And on the next video, I'm gonna teach you how to install these keys and then put them on the server. This is commonly used to make our security better. So how do you make those keys? Now you just need to type ssh-keygen-t rsa. You can also put DSA. Well, there's been arguments that which one is better, but I think it's just on the speed of the authentication that's they're saying. But basically both of these encryptions are the same. So you just choose R or D, whatever you have, and you press enter, and it will create this one on this folder. you just press enter. And this one, if you want a password for your key, let's just not put a password anymore now that the key has been created. So now let's look for that. It's in a hidden folder called .ssh. There you go. This one with the .pub is the one we're going to transfer to the server. So we successfully created a key on a client, and then we're going to transfer it on the server. How do you do that? Well, now we log back in to the server, right? And we use a port of 50,000, right? Make sure that back to your server you allow a password login again, okay? Because we don't have a key yet, we just going to allow a password login. So password authentication, just change that to yes, and we restart the service. Now that it's restarting we're going to go back to login. It's asked for the server password, we put it, and now we're logged into the server. Now we're going to from the server, we're going to back to the client to get that key and install it in the server under the file called authorized keys, which we will make later. So that now that we're logged in, we will use command secure file copy SCP, and we will specify the location of the client and followed by colon, and we'll look for that file, and it's called id_rsa.pub, right? And then we'll put it on the current folder that we have, which is the home folder of the user art on server. Now we press enter. Are you sure you want to connect? It's because I haven't I delete that. You just press yes, okay, and it's asking for a password because we're currently connecting to the client machine. Now we've successfully copied this file client key to the server. If we go back to the server now, and where's that? I think it's this one, id_rsa, because it's an RSA. So let's go back. Let's exit now from the server. Now that the file .rsa, the client key, is in here, we will need to make a file touch ssh that authorized keys. Okay, if this is the first time you're going to install a key, you don't need to run this command anymore. But since it's the first time, let's go and look that it will be created for us. Okay, if you press enter, there you go, the authorized key is now there. Now we're going to append the contents of the client key to this file, right? To the authorized keys that we just created. Now that it's there, okay, see now that something is in here. And now we need to, after that's been done, we need to read only the permission so that it's locked for others to use. Okay, so nobody but only you can see the contents of the, not even the root, because anyway they're not allowed to log in by root. So now that it's locked, and we also need to delete the client key. Okay, back here, it's up to you if you want to delete this too. It's up to you. Okay, now let's go back to our configuration file so that we will only allow public key. Password authentication, was turn it to no, and the public key authentication is yes. Okay, so that, and then save the file. We don't allow password, we just allow the key. So we'll log back into our server, and there you go. Now that we're successfully logged into the server without asking for a password, we've successfully installed the key in the client, and then we secure file copy it to back to the server to the file authorized keys. I hope you understood that one, and thank you for watching. Bye bye.